you never know. I mean, even if you have like a good feeling, you really never know until they call your name. I mean, even if they call second place and you know that you won, you still don't know until they call your name. So, yeah.
And I have a question for Mike. When you're on the
Long walks on the beach. I'm an Aquarius.
When you're on Gladiators, did anybody ever really piss you off to beat you or whatever? Did you look pissed off on some of those rounds?
You know what? Here's the thing. I did 3. I did the original Gladiators when I came out of college, which I loved because I learned from Nitro and these guys how to be on TV and how to play the game, and they were all great athletes. I did a TV show called Battle Dome where we got to just turn it loose. It was Fox, so it was like I remember I snapped a guy's leg, and I fight fair. I'm not one of these guys that comes out and ego and fighting, but I am protecting myself because they fight one person. I got to fight 9 guys in a day, so it's a little imbalanced. But we got to go out and just. But when I broke the guy's leg, I go backstage, I'm feeling bad, and the producers come back and go, "That's our first show." I'm like, wow. So we just get tussle. But on the new Gladiators, it was I guess it was just my age and stuff. They put me against the nicest competitors, but when one guy would come in and just knock the heads off the other gladiators, they would just go, "Okay, leash off." And I'd be like, all right. And so yeah, sometimes you get turned up because remember, we understand it's a show and you're gonna fight and you're gonna play the game, but these guys are so amped. Man, they come in with the TV's on, whoa, let's get this on. And we're backstage going, all right, we're gonna play some football, but easy, buddy. You know, so yeah, you get a little irate when they start trying to take you easy stuff.
Good. Thanks, guys.
And I answer a question for her is when you ask her that, this is an art show. And I know people say it's a sport. In my opinion, this is completely an art show. And I know that there's criteria and stuff. But you never know, even when you're so confident and they tell you one thing, you're still an apple and an orange. Somebody can look at it and just go, you know, I want the apple today. I want the orange today. So if you do a show, I recommend this. For anybody that's competing or want to compete, be so happy with your physique. Be so happy with it, because I keep telling this to people, and it's one of those people who an asshole. I'm sorry to say that word, but they ask you a question and then disregard what you tell them. When you go into a show, be happy with what you've got, because the placing cannot determine your attitude. You know, I barely lost, but when I did lose to somebody, I walked off stage and I was like, I'm cool being me. I'm cool with what I look like, and I'm cool with how my future is going to go. And it was just one of those things that try not to do that, because you're going to get turned off by the industry if you don't win every show. You get turned off by it if you come in and take 5th, and you just worked your ass off. We know how hard you work. But if you go into a show and you take 5th, don't go, forget it. I'm eating pizza the rest of this week and forget this shit. I'm done. Don't do that. Don't destroy yourself by the placing and by what the judges do. You know, it's just a visual. And here's one of my questions, I'm sorry, because you want to say the same kind of thing. Well, here's one thing. Everybody like Arnold Schwarzenegger's physique? Yeah. Couldn't turn pro today. Think about that. Could not win a super heavyweight at the USA or the Nationals. Does that mean he had a bad physique? No. I think he still has the greatest physique in the world. But that's how the judging is going. So in my opinion, he still has the greatest physique in the world. It's like a Michelangelo piece. It's beautiful, and it was made back so long ago, but it's still so beautiful today. So my opinion is that, yeah, create the physique you want, do you, get in stage, kick ass, whatever place you take, go have some fun with your husband or wife, girlfriend, dog, whatever.
Well, you know, to give you an example, all of the girls on the Figure Olympia stage are the best in the world, and every single one of our bodies is different. No matter what I do, I'll never look like Candace, I'll never look like Candace Lewis, I'll never look like, you know, any of those girls, just like they will never look like me. So when I look at my physique and I assess the things that I want to improve on, or the things that I want to maintain, or how I want my conditioning to look for what I feel like would be the best symmetry with the best combination of not being too hard and too soft, and then come on stage and present that. If a majority of the girls that I'm standing next to are softer than me, then it plays against me. If the majority of the girls are harder than I am, then it plays against me. If, you know, there's just, it's a very subjective sport, and you are placed based off of the opinions of the judges. There's no like point system like there is in other sports. There's no speed, time. There's nothing like that. It's, you know, they eliminate the highs and the lows of the scores and average the rest. And it can go your way or it can't. So even though I look at my physique this year and last year and I think, all right, I did everything I was supposed to do. I look the best that I feel like I can look. If it falls in my hands, great. My attitude is much different now going into the than it used to be. I know my life isn't going to be over if I get second place, although I train to win. It fuels everything else I do, but I know the people who are in my corner will be there whether I win or I lose. So I felt awesome going into it, and that really was what mattered the most to me. I made the improvements that I set out to do, and the rest was just like icing on the cake. So.
I was just wondering about supplements. Which ones do you consider to be, like, do you take religiously versus which ones are not so effective?
Yeah, religiously, I always take a multivitamin every day. I take an essential fatty acid. I take like a B complex, calcium, magnesium. I take, yeah, vitamin C, glutamine, branched chain during my workout, and whey protein powder. And that's about it all year round.
I'll do the same basics. I think those are just things you should take, but I do step back a bit. Get the diet right. Supplements are just added to. If the diet's not right, then you're spending money, spinning your wheels. But yeah, same thing. I'm a branched chain freak. I'm an amino freak. Before and after workout, and before bed, before my nap, or my second nap. Yeah.
I get a lot of questions from women, especially about fat burners, and I just want to say this. A fat burner is like a glorified espresso shot, right? So it can give you a boost of energy before your training or before your cardio or during the day when you need it. However, the misconception is that if you just take a fat burn and you don't change anything else, or if you don't go to the gym and train, or you don't really focus on what you're eating, that you're going to magically lose fat. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. It gives you a boost of energy to get off your ass, to get to the gym, to train, to burn calories, to burn more fat. So supplements are just that. Like Mike said, they supplement a sound diet and training program, and they can enhance that by helping with recovery, filling in the cracks of the vitamins and nutrients that you might be missing through your foods, and giving you that boost of energy to help perform harder.
And 3 shots of espresso. Just don't give it to your dog. That was a crazy night.
I practice Muay Thai, and I also hoping to, in a few years, compete in bikini. Now I'm wondering how your training for your fights differ from your training for bodybuilding.
For me, it's been something that it's almost like you're back in college and you're taking a semester, and I focus on the one more than the other. So what I do is, during the year, I've always trained a portion of it just strictly powerlifting, then bodybuilding, and then martial arts. That's how I do it. So when you're doing the martial arts, you're going to have to step back on the one aspect of it, but keep it small. Here's the one thing that's great, and I wish I did this, but a recommendation. You're doing Muay Thai, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you got so much training. You got so much training. Just incorporate still keep the weightlifting in there to shape your physique that you want for the bikini. Make sure your diet stays clean. Even though you're doing Muay Thai, anything you do, try to keep the diet as clean as you possibly can, mostly because you're going to be a 2-sport athlete kind of thing. All right? And and then just really try to back off. Here's the thing, when people are going into the gym and they brag about, I went in 3 hours and kicked ass, that's not weightlifting. Weightlifting is about going in the gym, doing the least amount of work with still making your body change. That's actually how you want to do it. So try to back it down and see how much you can still make your body change and grow with the least amount of work in the weightlifting, so you can go back in and explode. Because unfortunately, we do martial arts, we do overtrain when it comes to martial arts. But you know, we got to get the cardiovascular, you know, you got to hit the bags, you got to do all that stuff. So try to taper the one off just a little bit, but keep it.
Thank you.
Does everybody understand that? Try to go into the gym, do less, but still make your body, you know, because a lot of guys, mostly when they first start out, I went in and did legs for 7 hours. Great, dude, really long. Compared to when I first started, okay, let's not say that when I first started, because I had 4 older brothers all lift, and we'd lift until the other one drops. But when I started to make real good gains is when I'd go into the gym and hit something like I'd squat for 45 minutes, leg extensions, and I was out of the gym. You know, there's times during the year, if you can, just like nutrition. The nutrition is up and down, your calories, so you play with it, so your body doesn't adapt. As soon as your body adapts to something, you're in trouble. Because if you're working out for 2 hours a day and your body adapts, where are you going to go, 3 hours? Quit your job? You know, it's one of those things. Try to come back. Always try to come back and check your ego and go, okay, let's do a little less and see if I can keep the body where it's at or make slight changes. If that makes sense. If I need to elaborate it more, I'm just going to hand it off.
Yeah, my weight training workouts are an hour max. You know, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, but that's it. I just train intense. I lift as heavy as I can. I keep my rest periods between 30 and 45 seconds, up to a minute, and I'm constantly moving. Like I don't mess around. Go in and get my job done and leave. Got other things to do.
I got a question. So she just said she lifts heavy. When I talk about lifting heavy and stuff like that, I got a friend here, Mona here too, who's like ripped year round. But again, they lift heavy. Weightlifting for men is, in my opinion, the same for women. It's the heavy weight you can lift for high reps or low reps. But it's just whatever you can push. Don't be scared of weight. You know, all you're doing is breaking down the muscle. You're not going to turn out 20-inch arms being a female. All right, so anyways, no, but you know what I mean? It's not one of those things. I love the people that go, yeah, I want to work out, but I gain muscle too fast. Really? That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow, yeah, what's your secret then? Yeah, I just get really big. You mean you get fat? You're eating it. No, it's lift heavy. You're not gonna, don't be scared of it. And here's the thing, mostly, lifting heavy for women is even better for men, better for women than it is men, because you're building your bones. And as you know, the women's bones are more fragile as you get older. Blunt force trauma and the continuous pounding of weights actually thickens and strengthens your bones, so you get stronger. And that's what blunt force trauma, Wolff's Law, which is a science that studies it, you basically become a superhuman. And that's the style I've always weightlifted, and that's why I've always stayed heavy. And the body's adapted to it, which is nice. So I'm going to fly home.
Favorite cheat meal? Wow. Nice. Telling yourself. Go telling yourself.
I have a few, but I will give you my first. My number one would be Mexican with chips and guacamole and fajitas with steak and chicken and cheese, and a salad with ranch, and frozen yogurt with chocolate.
All at once.
The Counter, which is a burger place you make yourself. Shut up over there. Where are we going? The Counter. A pound of bison, if not 2 pounds of bison, sweet potato fries, and then yogurt. Frozen yogurt afterwards.
It's a cheat meal? Right.
Well, yeah, I know. Steak burrito. I know. Go back to Chipotle, right? Yeah. You just stay at Chipotle.
Like it jacked up.
Right up here on the right. Yeah.
When you say lift heavy, is there like a minimum amount of reps you're looking at? Like, you know, if you're putting on weight, you don't think you can do more than 4 or 5, just won't do it.
Okay, so what he's saying is lift heavy, where's the rep range? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying lift heavy for any rep range. Do you understand that? So if you're doing 15 reps, lift as heavy as you can for 15 reps. If you're doing 2 reps, lift as heavy as you can for 2 reps.
Don't get so stuck on the number of repetitions. So I'll go and, I guess the best way to put it is lift as heavy as you can for as many reps as you can. Because, look, if you're doing 20 reps, obviously you can put more weight on there. If you're doing 15 and you still feel like you can get more reps, you need to up the weight. If you're doing 10 reps and you can still get 5 more after that, then maybe up the weight again. Personally, for me, I don't ever go lower than 8. I am not trying to power lift, and I don't feel it as well if my rep range is lower than that. I try to get as much blood flow as possible to the